this book has great writing in it. As this book comes around, if you look on the front of it, there's a gold medal on it. What do you think that gold medal means?
They won an award.
They won an award. And what in the world do you think they would win an award for?
Good book.
A good book. Well, in order to have a good book, what do you think you have to have? A good writer. And what do you have to be a good writer?
Good writing.
Good writing. Right? Today we're going to talk about one thing you have to have good writing. And that's ideas. Ideas. What it's all about. Okay? I'm going to pass out a sheet for you. We're going to talk about just that today. Walk right into the camera. Oh, here. Oh, I got them there to start. Okay? Go ahead and put your name at the top of this for me. Today we're going to talk about ideas. And ideas are one thing that make writing good or bad. Right? Ideas make things good or bad. It says here, there are many good things that writers do. Right? However, one of the most important, if not the most important that writers do, is have good ideas. If a writer does not have good ideas, their writing doesn't make sense.
Sorry to interrupt. Is there a Raven Marsh in here?
No.
No.
Okay? Some of you might be asking, what are ideas? What are ideas? Let's write down exactly what they are. Ideas are the main message of a passage. Just fill in those words there that are underlined for me on your notes, the top box. Ideas are the main message of a passage. Now, good writing has a clear idea by supporting it with details. And I know that we've talked about before what details are, correct? So a good idea can't just be an idea on its own. It has to have something to back it up, right? Okay. The clearer that your ideas are, the better your writing. Now, how do we find out if we have good ideas? There are 6 questions that as a writer you can answer to make sure your ideas are good. And they're probably questions you've heard many times over. So let's write these down. Fill them in here for me. Who, where, what, when, why, and how. Good writers answer these 6 questions in their ideas. Who, what, where, when, why, and how. Okay? What are 6 questions that a good writer would answer? Who can tell me?
Who, where, why, what, when.
Perfect. Someone else tell me. What are the 6 questions that a good writer will answer?
Who, what, when, where, why, how.
Love it. Perfect. Who, what, where, when, why, how. Okay? Now, you're all writers. There are 3 steps to make sure that your ideas are clear and good. We're going to practice practice this today. The first step is to read whatever you've written out loud. Why out loud? Why would I say to read it out loud? Yeah.
To make sure that it sounds fun and there's no mistakes.
Yeah? To hear it? Okay. Anyone else? Yeah.
See if it makes sense.
To see if it makes sense, yeah? Sometimes what you're thinking in your head, when you actually get it on paper, anyone ever leave a word out?
Yeah.
So by reading it out loud, you make sure that what you meant to say is on paper. Second step, answer the questions. What questions am I talking about? The 6 questions. Tell me what those were again. Perfect. Perfect. So you're going to ask those about your story. Do they answer who? Do they answer what? Do they answer where? Do they answer why? No. Third step, rewrite or add to your writing if you missed some of those questions. Okay? So let's do this for our read aloud book that we read today. Do you remember we read what book? What is it?
Where the wild things are.
Man, you guys are sleepy this afternoon. What is it?
Where the wild things are.
This is the quietest class I've ever heard. What book did we read?
Where the wild things are.
Okay. Where the wild things are. Okay. So let's take a look. I'm going to show you. We talked about how we know that this is good writing. We know it's good writing because 1, it's published. 2, because it's won an award, right? So good writing, that book should answer all of these 6 questions. So the who. The who in our story was? Max. Max. And the wild things, right? The what in our read aloud today? What did he want? What did he want? He wanted to be wild. Where? Where did he go in the book? Okay? Out into the wild, through his imagination. When? We know that this story took place at nighttime. Our author did a really good job because he was even more specific. It was at dinner time, or in the book they called it supper. Why? Is there a why answered in this book? Why did these things happen? Remember the why, he didn't want to calm down, did he?
That'll go away.
And the last one, how? Right? How was the problem solved? How did it end in the story? He got hungry. Okay? So I've just shown you how to do it with a big story. Flip over your sheet to the back for me. We're going to practice this. Okay? Flip over your sheet to the back. If you look at the top of your page, I've given you a paragraph. Okay? What I want you to do right now on your own, either looking at the screen or on your paper, out loud to yourself, I want you to read this paragraph. Can't hear you. When I say go, ready, set, go.
I had a scary experience with a dog. It was really scary. It happened a long time ago. The dog was me.
Okay? Now, what was step 2 to figure out if our writing has good ideas? We have to see if it answers the question. What was the first question that it answers? Who? So I want you to go up into that paragraph. Does our writing have a who?
No.
I hear no, I hear yes. Can I have some hands? Does this paragraph have a who?
No.
No. Anyone disagree? Yes. So you say there is a who. Who is the who? Huh? The dog is a character in here? Okay, good. What else? The person talking. And how do we know that our narrator is in the story? It says I. Go ahead and circle that. And up above it, will you write who? Who? What was the second question? What is it? I can't hear you. What about your papers? Look at the second one. When? We're going across. When? Does this writing tell us when?
Yep.
Yes, I hear. Lots of hands, lots of people saying yes. Pink shirt. A long time ago. Go ahead and circle it right land by it. It's the third question. What? Does this story tell us what happened? Yes? Does this give us the main message? Okay, we do have a scary experience with the dog, so could we circle that and put what? Do we have the why? Do we know why there was a scary experience with the dog? But do we know why he was mean? Do we know what the dog did? What if this is a little tiny poodle? Are poodles scary? What if it's a puppy? Oh. So did this story tell us why it was so frightening with this dog? No? What's the next one? Where? Does this story tell us where?
No.
Not at all. What's the last one?
How?
How? Does this story tell us how
No.
he got away or how he took care of it? No. So has this writing expressed good ideas?
No.
No. What's the third step? Rewrite it. Now, before I turn you loose on this, let's look up here. I had a scary experience with a dog, right? When we go back to who, I forgot to circle that earlier. What kind of question might I ask? What kind of dog is it? Is this a poodle? Is this a Rottweiler? Is this a pit bull? Is this a Great Dane? Is this a Yorkie poo? Won't those details tell us and give us a clearer idea of what's happening?
Yes.
So here's what I need you to do. Look at the bottom. I want you to rewrite this paragraph, answering all 6 of those questions. Just practice. Be around to help.